Stop scrolling, because if you blink, the Crown's most audacious double act may have already bulldozed the next chapter of royal history while you were doom-scrolling dog videos. Picture it, 3:17 a.m., Sandringham House swaddled in August drizzle, when a dark green Land Rover eases through a side gate that guards still call Diana's door. No press rota, no outriders, just a single security driver and Catherine, Princess of Wales, hunched over an iPad whose glow paints urgent shadows across her cheekbones. Inside the back seat, a private 5G hotspot thrums as 6 short films upload to an undisclosed YouTube playlist. Each animation detonates a piece of neuroscientific TNT designed to blow apart Britain's complacency about children under 5. 12 hours earlier, almost to the minute, Prince William had pulled off a coup of his own, securing a unanimous council thumbs-up to flatten a dormant Duchy of Cornwall office block in Vauxhall and resurrect it as 39 microflats for young adults who normally mattress surf through winter. He did so while simultaneously green-lighting the retirement of Tyrone, the Windsor Grey whose iron-shod hooves have been the metronome of state pomp since the financial crisis was brand new. 2 envelopes. 2 signatures. 2 seismic shudders that rippled through palace wallpaper like an approaching tube train. By the time most of Britain refreshed the weather app, both initiatives were live and the battle for Britain's sympathy, critics warn, had sneaked out from under the monarchy's lace veil and into the hard glare of political firefight. One tabloid front-paged a split screen, William wearing a high-vis jacket, Kate in studio headphones, the gold state coach parked forlorn under dust sheets in the Royal Mews. The headline screamed, House of Wreck and Rule. But rewind. Because you need to appreciate the stealth. For weeks earlier, while UK paparazzi trailed the Wales family's summer run to Anmer Hall, Kate quietly slipped into a disused BBC sound booth near White City. In attendance, a pair of Harvard child development scientists, 2 BAFTA-nominated animators and a sign language interpreter. On a portable monitor sat Prince George, via secure Zoom from Amna's playroom, rewriting one line of dialogue to make a cartoon squirrel less cringy. Catherine scribbled notes, nixed a princess cameo, real kids, not tiaras, and drilled the team on color palettes proven to soothe anxious preschoolers. NDA folders were collected in a padlocked briefcase, everyone exited in staggered 2-minute intervals. Meanwhile, William's homelessness task force was staging its own cloak and dagger. Council planners in Lambeth received a document labelled Project Safe Harbour, no royal crest, to be reviewed in camera. Only when Lambeth's legal counsel checked the land registry did the penny drop. The site belonged to the Prince of Wales via the £1 billion duchy. He forced us to judge the plan on merit, not monarchy, one attendee confided. Merit, evidently, won. Now double punch delivered, the ramifications unfold faster than footmen can monogram new letterhead. At the palace, marble corridors buzz with factions. Old-school courtiers worry Tyrone's retirement without a world-class replacement could scramble logistics for the state opening of Parliament. The household cavalry's drill master is reportedly testing 3 younger greys who flinch at selfie-sticks, one kicked through a coach stall earlier this month. We can train nerves, he sighed, but we can't teach legend. In Downing Street, a senior advisor fumes that Kate's animations landed like a policy paper wearing glitter. They outline emotional regulation techniques, caregiver tips, and legislative nudges, then drive viewers to a non-profit portal whose partners include half the country's local authorities. That's influence without manifesto scrutiny, he warned. Yet the Prime Minister, trailing in polls, tweets praise within 90 minutes, terrified of appearing anti-child. Across the Atlantic, entertainment agents note the animations hit 6 million views in 24 hours, without ad spend. Netflix analytics light up. Archual Studios hastily adds early childhood to its development slate. One LA showrunner jokes, Kate just dropped 6 free pilots and every Hollywood exec felt the chill. At Sandringham, Catherine returns before dawn, changes into leggings, and jogs with the spaniel along bracken paths while courtiers decipher press clippings. She declines breakfast and heads straight to a barn, where Louis has assembled Lego cranes. Building homes like Papa, he asks. She laughs, then quietly photographs the model. Insiders expect a companion animation by Christmas, starring a crane named Lubot who lifts feelings blocks. At Clarence House, Charles signs thank you cards to hospital nurses, But his fountain pen hovers over the briefing that Tyrone's successor will cost £200,000 in training alone. Dozens of fan letters beg him to reconsider the retirement. Yet the king, who once described horses as the monarchy's silent guards, accepts the end of an era on one condition: Tyrone's retirement paddock must be viewable to visiting schoolchildren as a living civics lesson about duty and rest. William agrees, then requests space beside the paddock for a tiny visitor centre on homelessness outreach. A horse teaches service, a home teaches hope, he argues. Charles sighs but gives permission, muttering, "My reign has become a construction site." Inside Lambeth, demolition cranes bite the first concrete by noon. A homeless 19-year-old named Mina livestreams the moment, tears in her eyes. "They said no one cared," she whispers. By nightfall her TikTok hits 2 million views. The palace PR team secretly cheers, the best advert money can't buy. But risk stalks the project. Anti-monarchy activists threaten to picket the site, labeling it crownsplaining. Housing rights purists call 39 flats a thimbleful. William's advisors draft a fiery response: "Watch before you judge. Then come help us scale." Yet lawyers worry a public brawl could derail funding for phases 2 and 3. Next shockwave on the horizon? An unconfirmed report says William will ask banks to pilot homelessness bonds, using duchy assets as partial guarantee. If true, it would yoke centuries-old wealth to social impact investors, a move as radical as George III granting Parliament a royal veto. Treasury mandarins shuffle papers nervously. Meanwhile, Tyrone's transporter rolls up to the horse trust at dusk. A hush falls as the back ramp lowers. A retired police mayor nickers a greeting. Tyrone steps onto soft turf, shakes his manner, and witnesses swear, lifts his nose toward the northeastern sky, where London's cranes stab the clouds. The moment is pure cinematic poetry, no cameraman captured it. But a young stable volunteer snaps a phone photo that goes viral anyway, captioned, "Even legends need new pastures." So where does this leave the monarchy? Straddling two narratives that could, if mishandled, collide like jousting chargers: golden carriage tradition versus concrete poor modernism, lullaby cartoons versus granite cynicism. In one scenario, the Windsors emerge as Britain's moral venture fund, building brains and bedrooms faster than tabloids can sneer. In the other, they are ridiculed as dilettantes whose fancy infographics and half-finished flats collapse under public sector austerity. Right now both endings remain live. Engineers have found asbestos under Vauxhall's foundation. A 6-week delay already looms. YouTube pedants have spotted a continuity error in Kate's film number 2, the toddler's socks change colors mid-scene, and Twitter is howling. High stakes, small tripwires. And hanging over everything, the thud of hoofbits, ghost beats, where Tyrone once stamped steady reassurance into the mall's tarmac. Yet this is exactly where William and Catherine seem to thrive, on the thin rope between catastrophe and transformation. One wrong slip and the tabloids get blood, one sure-footed step and history prints laurels. The coming months will show which hoof lands first. So keep refreshing those news feeds. The scaffolding's only just gone up, the last YouTube episode hasn't even dropped, and somewhere in the countryside an aging Windsor grey grazes, blissfully unaware he may have been the opening bell for a royal revolution. We'll be at every council session, every site inspection, every cartoon premiere, telling you whether the House of Windsor is hammering itself into relevance or cracking its own foundations. Either way, don't look away. The wrecking ball hasn't finished its swing and the crown, for once, is choosing to stand directly in its path.